So good evening everyone. Today we will be discussing about the thermodynamic relation of ideal Bose system and Bose-Einstein condensation. This is a continuation of what we have done in the last class. Now we were discussing what is Bose-Einstein condensation at the last part of the section, and we also derived a certain relation between PV by KT over there, and we'll be continuing our exercise that also we have mentioned in last class as well. So here you can see that we will be first we have the equation that is equal to PV by KT equal to, so we have certain equation, right? PV equal to PV by KT equal to minus 2 pi V by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 0 to infinity epsilon raised to minus 1 by 2 ln 1 minus z e raised to minus beta epsilon de minus ln 1 minus z. So this was the representation we had in the last class. Okay, now what I'm taking is that I'm just representing this equation around. Okay, so let me just put this equation as equation number A. Okay, I'm just taking this equation and also you note the equation corresponding to n0 as well here. Okay, so we'll come to the discussion here. So what I'll be hearing is we have PV by KT is equal to minus 2 pi V by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 0 to infinity epsilon raised to 1 by 2 minus I think ln into 1 minus z e raised to minus beta epsilon into de minus ln 1 minus z is there. Now if I divide this entire equation by V by volume, then I'll be getting P by KT. P by KT equal to minus 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 0 to infinity epsilon raised to minus 1 by 2 ln 1 minus ln 1 minus z e raised to minus beta epsilon de minus ln into 1 minus z divided by v. So this will be the equation if you divide the entire equation with respect to v. Okay, now in this equation let me just take only this representation. I'll be just only evaluating this equation alone. Okay, that is L minus ln minus z by v. So for that let me just take the minus ln 1 minus z by v. I'm just evaluating this one, what is the this representation. For that what I do here is that I need to know what is z is. I need to have a substitution corresponding to z, and we already have seen that n0, that is the total number of particles at the ground state, that is n0 equal to z by 1 minus z representation we already know. Okay, from that representation this I can write it as n0 minus n0z. Okay, n0 minus n0z equal to z I will be getting. From that I can identify the z equal to z in terms of n0. So z equal to I will be getting n0 divided by 1 plus n0. So this is z. Now I can substitute this z value in this logarithmic representation. Okay, so if I do that, so minus ln 1 minus z by v, so which is equal to minus ln 1 minus z by v So if here you substitute z equal to n0 plus 1 plus n0, then you will be having minus ln into 1 minus n0 divided by 1 plus n0, okay, divided by v. Okay, so this I can either write it as minus ln 1 by n0 plus 1, okay, divided by v. And here if you apply the logarithmic property over this function, then you will be having ln of 1 minus something there, so it will be equal to, so minus ln of 1 means ln of 1 minus ln n0 plus 1 will be there. So ln of 1 we know that will be equal to 0. Then what remains? Minus ln of minus n0 plus 1. So what will be here? It is ln of 1 minus ln of n0 plus 1 will be there. Okay, divided by v. And we know that log ln of 1 is 0. So what it will be? So here there will be a minus minus ln of n0 plus 1, then this will be plus, so what will be having? Ln n0 plus 1 divided by the volume v. So like you will be getting the representation in that case. Now in this case, so now we know that when you consider volume of a particle, so the volume of a particle will be proportional to the number of particles present in that one. So here you can consider the volume is proportional to the number of particles at the ground state, that is n equal to n, v proportional to n0. So I can replace this n volume with n0 in that aspect. So ln n0 plus 1 divided by n0, like I can substitute this representation. Okay, now if I consider by in this situation, so for all values of z, for all value of z, so if I consider z equal to 0, then n0 will be equal to what? N0 will be equal to 0. Okay, and we know that for z is equal to 1, n0 should be equal to infinity as well. Okay, so by considering that in that respect, for all value of z, z equal to 0 to will be equal to n0 equal to 0. When z equal to 1, n0 will be equal to infinity. We have seen the case of Bose-Einstein condensation state in the last class as well, and the same scenario here as well. So that we already know. Now what I do here is that we have an equation corresponding to the p by kt representation, where I can substitute this notation. Okay, so for me, so let me just come back to that p by kt representation again. So here this is p by kt equal to so for example, if I just consider that z is equal to 0 in this case, so ln of 1 will be there, right? Z is equal to 0 means this will go to 0 in that case, and again if you give infinity, then in that situation also this term will go 0 in both cases. So for all values of z, that is z equal to 0 and 1, so this term will be going to 0 in that term. Okay, so the last term in that respect in both case, that is ln n0 plus 1 divided by n0 will go to 0 in this scenario, and again like ln n0 plus 1 divided by n0, this will go to 0 in both these conditions. Okay, so we can neglect that term because of this consideration. Okay, now let me just represent the above one. So the p by kt becomes the earlier equation p by kt, in that respect it becomes minus 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 integral 0 to infinity epsilon raised to 1 by 2 ln 1 minus z e raised to minus beta epsilon dE. So this will be the P by KT by considering that condition. And now we also know that there is another representation that is corresponding to n. Okay, so this I can either write it as like this fashion. So if I substitute n by n0, so n by n0 by v will be equal to 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 integral 0 to infinity epsilon raised to 1 by 2 d epsilon divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to minus beta epsilon minus 1. Now in these two equation what I do here is that let me just substitute beta epsilon. So you just put beta epsilon equal to x. Okay, so by putting that p by kt becomes p by kt will be equal to minus 2 pi by h cube raised to 2m raised to 2m raised to 3 by 2 0 to infinity. So if I put this epsilon I can put it as x by beta raised to 1 by 2, okay, into ln 1 minus z into e raised to minus beta epsilon dx by beta will be there for corresponding to d epsilon. So this will be the representation for p by kt when you substitute beta epsilon equal to x. So now if I proceed, we'll have minus 2 pi by h cube 2m divided by beta. This I can take it outside, that is beta raised to 3 by 2 will be there. So 0 because there is a beta over here and beta raised to 1 by 2 over here. This I can write as beta raised to 3 by 2. So 0 to infinity x raised to 1 by 2 ln. So this beta epsilon also I can substitute, right? So 1 minus z e raised to minus x, okay, dx will be there. Okay, so once you get this form, so we have a general equation for solving out this one, so which I can say that that is 0 to infinity. So if you have a representation like that, x raised to 1 by 2 ln 1 minus z e raised to minus x dx. So if you have a representation like that, which I can write it as integral ln into 1 minus z e raised to minus x, okay, dx raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. So it is equal to, if you are taking the differential of x raised to 3 by 2, so you will be again be getting x raised to 1 by 2 ln like that fashion. Okay, so I am just solving out this integral representation here. So by solving that I'll be getting, so this I can write it as ln into 1 minus z e raised to okay, e raised to x e raised to minus x okay, x raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2, then you have to give the limit 0 to infinity on the other side, and the next part will be 0 to infinity minus 2 minus x into x into 1 divided by 1 minus 2 e raised to minus x raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2 dx. Okay, so this is how you'll be getting the representation corresponding to that. So this part of the term, if you apply the limit, this part of the term will go 0, and will remaining is that this part of the term only the second term in the equation. So that if you represent like that, 0 to infinity, this 3 by 2, I can say that if you take it on the upper side, it will be 2 by 3 z e raised to minus x divided by 1 minus z e raised to minus x into x raised to 3 by 2 dx will be there. Okay, so if you solve it out this one, then you will be remaining minus 2, sorry, so you will be getting minus 2 by 3 raised to x raised to 3 by 2 divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to x minus 1 dx. Okay, which is equal to minus 2 by 3 integral x raised to 5 by 2 minus 1 divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to x minus 1 dx. So like you can solve it out the integral equation. Then if you continue, this will be equal to minus 2 by 3. We can represent this in terms of gamma function, that is 5 by 2 g 5 by 2, okay, g 5 by 2 of z. This gamma function you would have already studied in your mathematical physics session. So which we this g factor we rather we call it as a, and here you can say this is a gamma function, and this is also a gamma function, but this we call it as Bose-Einstein function. Okay, so generalized representation of this g of gn of z, which I can write it as, it is okay, one second. So the generalized representation of this Bose-Einstein function is Gn of z is equal to 1 by gamma n, okay, integral 0 to infinity x raised to n minus 1 dx divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to x minus 1. So that's why we return the above function in this fashion. And if you expand this one, what you'll be supposed to get is that it will be a function of z square. It is a function of z square is to 2n plus z raised to 3 divided by 3 raised to n. So like it will be a series in that fashion. So that is a Bose-Einstein function in general representation. Okay, so we just represented above notation in that fashion. Okay, okay, now here we know that in the above case what we will be having is that n equal to 5 by 2, and that is g 5 by 2 of z is equal to what we will be getting, 1 by gamma 5 by 2 uh, 0 to infinity x raised to 5 by 2 minus 1 divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to x minus 1 dx. Okay, then if you do this, if you sort it out this one, and you will be getting minus 2 by 3, okay, into 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 root pi g raised to 5 by 2 of 2. Okay, so that is, I'm just expanding what is gamma 5 by 2 here. So if you, then you'll be getting minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this is the alternative representation. So this was the notation of the above one. Okay, so what is this one? Okay, so this we expanded over here. So if you're taking the gamma 5 by 2 representation like that, minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 2, so this is 2 by 3. Okay, so this is minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 root pi g 5 by 2 of z, then that is equal to minus 2 into pi g raised to 5 by 2 of z. So like you will be getting the value, and this p by kt, so it all came from the p by kt representation, no? So we need to evaluate the integral. Now if you substitute back this representation, what was this? So this was the representation of this particular function. Okay, so I can write it out. So this is a function which is 0 to infinity x raised to 1 by 2 ln okay, so that is a, so this is actually ln 1 minus z to e raised to minus x dx. Okay, so that was an expansion of that one, right? So you can substitute back here. Then you substituting back to minus 2 pi by h cube 2m raised by divided by beta raised to 3 by 2, that we know, and we have to substitute the solution for this integral, that is minus 1 by 2 root pi into g raised to 5 by 2 of z, that is the Bose-Einstein function. Okay, now if you evaluating this one, then what you will be getting that, so if you substitute that value corresponding to that, then you will be getting this is equal to p by kt. P by kt equal to g raised to 5 by 2 of z divided by h cube, okay, divided by 2 pi m kt all raised to 3 by 2, all raised to 3 by 2. How it comes? It is came because pi and root pi is there, that means pi raised to 3 by 2. Okay, and beta equal to 1 by kt, that is also we know. Okay, from that combining that representation, here if you substitute 1 by beta, okay, so beta, we know that beta equal to 1 by kt, then if you substitute 1 by kt over here, so this will come on the numerator, right? And here also you can represent the same, here pi and root pi is there, so which if you represent, what will be there, it will be pi raised to 3 by 2. So you know overall g by 5 by 2, g by 5 by 2 will be equal to, which I can write like this, so this minus and minus get cancelled, so the what will be getting g 5 by 2 of z divided by, and this one already we know, h cube divided by 2 pi m kt, so which is the mean wavelength, so mean wavelength, so that is lambda cube. So what we are supposed to get is that p by kt, so p by kt is equal to, simply we can represent as p by kt equal to g by g 5 by 2 of z divided by, where g 5 by 2 is the Bose-Einstein function, divided by lambda cube. So this is the final result we need to get corresponding to the representation of p by kt. Okay, so already we got the representation corresponding to p by kt. Okay, now we need to address the same scenario for n minus n0 by v. Okay, so here, so we'll consider n minus n0 by v, which is equal to 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2, okay, 0 to infinity epsilon raised to 1 by 2 d epsilon divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to beta epsilon minus 1. Okay, so here also you can substitute beta epsilon equal to x. Okay, so if you're substituting that, you will be getting 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 0 to infinity. So this epsilon I can substitute as x by beta 1 by 2 divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to beta epsilon is there, right? So beta epsilon I can write it as x, okay, minus 1. So here d epsilon is there, that is dx by beta, sorry. So n minus n0 by v is equal to, which I can write it as 2 pi by h cube. So like earlier, 2 beta I can take it outside, 2m by beta raised to 3 by 2 I can like write, and 0 to infinity. So here the function we need to integrate is that x raised to 1 by 2 dx divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to x minus 1. Okay, so this is the function we need to get, and from then we have to substitute into back to the equation. Okay, so solution of this one we can simply write it as 2 pi by h cube, 2 pi by h cube, and 2m by bt is 2m by 1 by kt, that is 2m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so solution of this one is root pi by 2 g 3 by 2 of z. Okay, so that is, so the above representation becomes will be n minus n0 by v, which is equal to g raised to 3 by 2 of z divided by, okay, lambda cube will be the remaining. So here in the above case also you can see that here the 2 get cancelled, this 2 and this 2 get cancelled, then root pi is there, okay, and when you expand, when you take that here is 1 pi is there and root pi is there, and combinedly that is pi raised to 3 by 2, then that you can take it to inside the bracket, and we can write it as in like this, g 3 by 2 by z by lambda cube. Okay, so this is a representation of that, and lambda cube you already know, it is actually lambda cube is basically h cube divided by 2m kt, sorry 2 pi m kt, 2 pi m kt. So 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 will be there. Okay, so not 3 by 2, 1 by 2. Okay, so okay, so it's, so what we will be getting, n minus n0, so which is equal, which also we can represent in terms of Bose-Einstein function. Okay, so now what we will be doing is that we will be finding the internal energy representation corresponding to that, because we already started with the, to find the different thermodynamic relation. So we already find the relation corresponding to pressure in the above P by KT representation, and number of particle and volume can be identified from this one. And internal energy, what about internal energy? How do we represent in ideal Bose system? For internal energy, we know that it is actually minus dou by dou beta of ln of grand partition function. So that is equal to kt square dou by dou t of ln gamma, or beta is already we know, that is k1 by kt. So which will be equal to kt square equal to dou by dou t of pv by kt. Okay, which is equal to kt square dou by dou t v raised to g phi by 2, okay, by lambda cube, because p by kt we already know that is g phi by 2 by lambda cube, that you can substitute in there, and from that what we'll be getting. So here we can represent, this is like kt square v g phi by 2, sorry, g phi by 2 equal to g phi by 2 of z, okay, here also there will be of z, okay, z dou by dou t of dou by dou t of 1 by lambda cube will be there, okay. So 1 by lambda cube representation will be there. So that is, we can represent what in final the internal energy will be equal to. So if you do the differentiation there, u equal to 3 by 2 kt v by lambda cube g phi by 2 of z will be getting, because we are evaluating lambda cube. Lambda is a function of t, that is already we know, because lambda cube is h cube divided by 2 pi m kt. So while differentiating this one, we will be getting 3 by kt representation like that. 3 by kt lambda cube divided by lambda raised to something will be there. So if you represent that, what you will be getting is that, so you will be having a function that is u equal to 3 by 2 kt pv by kt will be there, because we know that g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. So this is actually representing p, right? That is the pressure. So this is 3 by 2 kt into g phi by 2 of z divided lambda cube. So that is pv by kt, that is p by kt is g phi by 2, because we know that p by kt equal to g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube, okay. So this was the representation we'll have. So from that you will understand that you can actually cancel out kt on the either side, okay. So what you will be getting is that the internal energy is equal to 3 by 2 pv. So this is the representation we will be getting for the internal energy, okay. So from that we can also write like this, that is the pressure term. The pressure is equal to 2 by 3 u by v, where u is the internal energy, okay, and v is the volume. And now the next part of the is that we'll be finding the Helmholtz energy corresponding to an ideal Bose system, okay, Helmholtz energy, okay. So A equal to n mu minus pv, okay, where z we already know z is actually what, e raised to mu by kt, okay. So ln z means what, that is mu by kt, and mu equal to what, mu equal to kt ln z, okay. So by representation we can actually substitute this value, the chemical potential, that you can substitute mu equal to kt ln z here. So A equal to A equal to n kt ln z minus pv will be there, okay. And we also know that p by kt equal to what? P by kt equal to g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. And pv by kt, then what? So pv means pv equal to, I can write it as, it is kt v g phi by 2 of z, because pv by kt, if you take the kt on the other side, so this I can write it like this, because p by kt equal to g phi by 2 of z by lambda cube, then pv means kt into v g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. So this is the representation we will be getting in that situation. Okay, and now also if you consider, so this I can write it as this above representation, by using this one. The Helmholtz energy is equal to nkt ln z minus ktv g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. Okay, so in this fashion I can write the representation. And now we also have a representation corresponding to this is the Helmholtz energy representation we have now. Okay, now we'll have the number of particle representation now, that is n minus n0 by v. N minus n0 divided by v equal to, we have a representation that is g3 by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. So this was the representation. Now if I take n minus n0 equal to g3 by 2 O of z divided by lambda cube into v. So this v I can take it on the other side. Okay, from that way, if I consider that n equal to n0 equal to 0, okay, if n0 equal to 0, then this will be equal to what? N equal to g3 by 2 of z divided by lambda cube into v will be there. Okay, so this is how I'll be getting the n equal to this term when n0 equal to 0. Okay, so now what I do with this one is that we know that the representation for PV, for example PV by KT. Okay, so if I write that, if I write PV by KT, so PV by, sorry, PV by KT la, PV by N. So if I write PV by N, already we have seen what is PV. So PV by N will be equal to what? It is K. So PV by N equal to KT into G raised to 5 by 2 of Z divided by G raised to 3 by 2 of Z. So this is, you will be getting for PV by N. Okay, now so again Helmholtz energy, if I take Helmholtz energy A equal to nkt ln z minus pv. So this was the representation. So if I take nkt outside from this one, so you'll have ln z minus pv by nkt will be there. Okay, so what is pv by nkt? Okay, from this representation pv by nkt equal to g5 by 2 of z divided by g3 by 2 of z, that is in terms of the Bose-Einstein function. So this pv by nkt I can substitute over here. Okay, so now if I do that, so which is equal to nkt into ln minus, sorry, so this is ln z minus pv by, sorry, pv by nkt we already are represented, that is g 5 by 2 of z divided by, okay, so this is your representation for what? This is the representation for Helmholtz energy in terms of Bose-Einstein function. Okay, now the next one we will be addressing about the temperature case. Okay, Okay, next part of the discussion we will be addressing on the temperature aspect of an ideal Bohr system. Okay, so we know that Z is equal to the fugacity, Z is equal to e raised to mu by kT. Okay, now if I consider for a high temperature case, okay, for a high temperature case, for you can consider that the temperature is going to infinity. Okay, temperature is going to infinity. In that situation you can see the equation for fugacity. So in that time Z will be what? It will be comparably very small. Okay, so we know that the number of particles at the ground state is equal to Z minus 1 minus Z. Okay, so this will be a small quantity. This will be very small in that respect if Z is very small. Okay, so we can neglect this term at a high temperature. Okay, so in that case n minus n0 by v equal to, so g3 by 2 of Z divided by lambda cube was there, no? Okay, which is equal to what? Which is equal to v, because of here n0 will be neglectable in this situation. Okay, so we can consider g3 by 2 of Z divided by lambda cube, that is equivalent to n by v. So that means what? Here n0 equal to 0. Okay, so at a high temperature, okay, that is a scenario. Okay, now we know that g3 by 2, if I expand, so g3 by 2 of Z is a function of Z, so which I can expand as a series, that like we already has done earlier as well. So that is Z square. Okay, so here n is what? N is Z square by 3 by 2 is the n value, so that is we'll have 2 raised to n, that is 2 raised to 3 by 2 plus Z cube divided by 3 raised to 3 by 2 plus etc. like that. Okay, so in that case, so g3 by 2 of Z, g3 by 2 of Z is equal to, okay, which I can also write like this, n by v into lambda cube, because n by v is g3 by 2 of Z divided by lambda cube. So in that representation, what is n by v? But v is the number density, la. So number density I can take it as n. So n is equal to n lambda cube. Okay, n lambda cube. Okay, so which is equal to lambda cube divided by nu. Okay, so here you can substitute a nu equal to 1 by n. Okay, where nu equal to, it's nu equal to 1 by n. If you substitute n, you can replace by 1 by nu. Okay, so now you can just compare these two equation here. So while comparing, so both are equal to, for example, Z plus Z square divided by 2 square 3 by 2 plus Z cube divided by 3 raised to 3 by 2. Okay, plus etc., which is equal to what? Which is equal to, I can say that lambda q by nu, lambda q by nu. Okay, nu is the actually the 1 by number density corresponding to that. Okay, so here what we are getting here is that this is series expansion of Z that we are getting here. Okay, now if you expand this term as also like in this way, so we will be getting the corresponding representation for that. Okay, so this is g3 by 2, that is equal to lambda v 3 by v. Okay, now we'll just come back to that pv by kt equation. Okay, so pv by kt is equal to what? That is v into g5 by 2 of za, okay, of za divided by lambda cube. Okay, and pv by nkt, that is also we have seen in the above case, pv by nkt equal to that, that is v by n g5 by 2 of za divided by lambda cube. Okay, and which I can write it as V by N. E by N I can write it as nu by lambda, nu by lambda cube. That is, n by v is number density and nu is 1 by n. So that is lambda, that is g phi by 2 of z. Okay, so that is also we can represent in terms of lambda cube. So what we will be getting is that pv by kt is equal to, we get as g phi by 2 of z divided by lambda cube divided by nu, lambda cube divided by nu. Okay, and so in general what we are supposed to get is that here also we have a function g phi of z, that also you can expand. So g phi of 2 of z, so which is equal to what? It is equal to sigma L equal to 1 to infinity a l lambda cube divided by nu raised to l. Okay, so which we call it as, and this al now, so which we call it as virial coefficient. Hope you remember what was virial coefficient and all. Okay, so it was a summation of the coordinate product and all, coordinate into the momentum with the force applying on the coordinate. That was virial theorem now. So this is we call it as virial coefficient, and pv by kt becomes here pv by kt, that is equal to sigma l al lambda cube divided by nu raised to l divided by, so it is pv by nkt. Yeah, so n I can substitute as lambda cube divided by nu, so which is equal to sigma l equal to 1 to infinity al lambda cube divided by nu raised to l minus 1. Okay, so which we call it as equation of state. Okay, equation of the state. So for example a1 equal to 1. Okay, then a2 will be equal to minus 0.17678. Okay, and then a2 will be equal to minus 0.0030, and a4 is equal to minus 0.0011. Okay, so if you do that, so different values of virial coefficient, so you will be getting pv by kt equal to pv by kt. If you expand, this will be pv by nkt la, p by nkt equal to a1 plus a2 lambda cube divided by nu. Okay, plus a3 lambda cube divided by nu raised to 2, plus etc. Like you can expand the again equation of state there. Okay, so this is a representation for pv by kt in terms of virial coefficient term in this case. Okay, and here we already has find out the internal energy is equal to 3 by 2 pv. Okay, so now we need to find out the specific heat capacity. Okay, specific heat capacity. So specific heat capacity, if you want cv equal to dou u by dou t, that is already know. Okay, so dou by dou t of 3 by 2 pv you need to find. Okay, if you do that, you will be having 3 by 2 dou by dou t of pv. Okay, so like you will be getting the equation corresponding to that. So here this I can represent as, for example, cv by nk. If I do want to represent, So this will become C by 2 dou by dou T of PV by NK will be there, right? So this I can write like this, and PV by NK, so which I can say that 3 by 2 into PV by NKT we already has find it out. What is it? Was sigma L equal to 1 to infinity AL lambda cube divided by nu raised to L minus 1. So this we can substitute there. So if you want to find it as PV by NK, so there will be a additional multiplication of temperature as well. So this you can see that 3 by 2 dou by dou T of sigma L equal to 1 to infinity AL T into lambda cube by nu raised to L minus 1. Okay, and this is equal to 3 by 2 sigma L equal to 1 to infinity we evaluate will be having pi 3L divided by 2AL into lambda q minus nu L minus 1. So if you give the L value corresponding to each one, that is A value, A1, A2, A3 I already have specified now. So if you just give the summation for corresponding to each one, so what you will be supposed to get is that 3 by 2. Okay, first term will be 1 plus. So we already have seen A1, A2, A3 different terms la. So above. So if you substitute that term over here, this is A1, A2, A3. So give the open summation, then you will be having 3 by 2 1 plus 0.0884 if you give the different value, and lambda cube divided by 4 plus will have 0.0066. Okay, here you have to give the L value 5 minus 3 L by 2 no, so you have to give the L value, then you will be getting like this. So lambda cube divided by nu the whole square la. So like we will be getting the different value corresponding to the representation. Okay, now what I do here is that we know that when temperature is infinity, for high temperature, at temperature is infinity, so this is basically what Cv by Nk. Okay, Cv by Nk. So if temperature is infinity, so we have lambda means what? Lambda is h by root 2 pi mkt. Okay, so this will tends to 0 when t is infinity. Okay, so by considering that, I can say that at low temperature, so this representation we can rather say that Cv by Nk will be equal to this term and all 3 by 2, this lambda cube by 4 no. So since lambda is tends to 0, this term will vanish and this term also get vanished. So remaining will be 3 by 2, 1 plus 0 etc. will be there. So wherever the lambda term is coming at high temperature, lambda will be equal to approximately equal to 0. So what it remains is that Cv by Nk equal to 3 by 2. So that means Cv equal to what? 3 by 2 Nk. So this is a representation of specific heat capacity in ideal Bose system. Okay, so this is a scenario in high temperature case. Okay, so high temperature, the specific heat capacity will be Cv equal to 3 by 2 Nk at a high temperature. Okay, so better to write as at a high temperature. And what will be the scenario if for low temperature? So that is the thing we will be evaluating at a lower temperature. So what will be the scenario? Okay, we also know that ideal equation was PV equal to NKT. So that we have seen in many times in the above discussion. Okay, PV equal to NKT representation as well. So here we'll see the at low temperature what is the case. So as the temperature decreases, what is the specific heat capacity? What was the change for lambda value? So if the temperature is decreasing, okay, so if it is decreasing, then we can say that lambda will increase. Lambda will increase. Okay, so then that means lambda q by nu. So this will also increase in that situation because lambda is proportional to 1 by root T. So if the value of this temperature is decreasing means lambda is increasing. So that means lambda q by V also increasing. Okay, so that was a situation for lower temperature case. So here we'll just consider n equal to n minus n0, the number of particle representation earlier we have done. So that is n minus n0 divided by V. Okay, so that is equal to g3 by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. So this was the representation now. So we know that the total number of particles at ground state and the different another energy level, that is equal to the total number of particle. So n minus n0 means that is actually representing what? So that is n minus n0. So this is a particle at a different energy state E. Okay, so which I can say that Ne divided by V equal to g3 by 2 of z divided by lambda cube. Okay, and lambda cube we already know that g3 by 2 of z lambda cube, if I substitute, that is 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube. Okay, so what is this Ne? Ne is the number of particles there. Okay, so this is the number of particles in excited level, excited energy levels. So in that situation we know that, so we have to consider z equal to 1. Okay, so z will be equal to 1. So we also say that as the Ne increases, the g3 by 2 of z will be also increase. Okay, which is also increase with respect to that. That means we have an equation, that is relation, a condition for the value of number of particles in the case of case where z equal to 0 and z equal to 1. If z equal to 1, then you will be having the maximum occupancy for the particle. If z equal to 0, the particle will be empty in that situation. And now if you consider z equal to 1, so that is a maximum occupancy condition. So that means g3 by 2 of z I can just give it as 1. Okay, so which is equal to 1. Okay, so which if I substitute and expand this series expansion of g3 by 2, so that will be 1 plus 1 by 2 raised to 3 by 2 plus 1 by 3 raised to 3 by 2 plus like etc. will be there. So this value will be equal to approximately 2.612 is the value corresponding to this one. So, okay, so that means, so this g3 by 2 at this condition will be approximately for maximum occupancy cases, that is maximum it can go up to 2.612. Okay, so or rather if the value of, because we know that the maximum possible value for z is 1. Okay, then the maximum possible value for g3 by 2 will be 2.612. Okay, so any value in between and 0 and 1, so this value of g3 G3 by 2 of Z will be decreasing less than 0.612 is the possible value for other case. And we know that when Z is equal to 0, what will be the situation, or also we already said that. Okay, so when Z is equal to 0, when Z is equal to 0, we say that this term will be also equal to what? This will be equal, because how this come? This is came because the general expansion is G3 by 2 of Z, means general expansion we can say that Z plus 1, it is actually Z by the 2 raised to 3 by 2 plus Z square divided by uh, 3 raised to 3 by 2, like etc. Like, so if I give Z equal to 0, then we'll have G3 of Z, G3 by 2 of Z will be equal to 0. So that I can say that the value of G3 by 2, so which lies between what? It is between 0 less than or equal to G3 by 2. Okay, so which is lies in between 2.612 and 0. So that is the value for G3 by 2 corresponding to in this scenario. Okay, now if I draw a figure corresponding to this one, I can easily represent the value for Bose-Einstein function, that is G3 by 2. Okay, so if I just represent this is G3 by 2 of Z, and here we have the value corresponding to Z on the x-axis. So the maximum value will be 0, and the minimum value will be 0, and the maximum value, if I just say that, that is 1. Okay, so the G3 by 2 will be monotonically increase up to 1. So if it up to 1, then we know that this value will be corresponding to what? This value will be corresponding to 2.612. Okay, that was all it means. Okay, now we say that at the lower temperature Ne by V, so which is approximately equal to what? Equal to 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube into 2.612. That is the maximum possible value. Okay, so the actual particle will be less than the limiting value 2.612. Okay, so if most of the case the particle will be below at this situation. So whenever you find the actual particle in this case will be always less than the limit value, that is 2.612. Okay, so only you can achieve this value if all particles are distributed. Okay, distributed at excited level, then you can get the value this one. Okay, so the actual particle exceed this limit from 0 to 5, so will be getting de-excited to the ground level as well. Okay, so here you can see that this Ne by V, it is actually the number density of particle at the excited level. Okay, which is equal to 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube into 2.612. So this is the maximum possible value for what total number of particles can be occupied at the excited level. Okay, so this is also, we can say, this is also a limiting value for an actual particle. Okay, so if the particle with having z equal to 1, that is equal to 2.612 for G3 by 2. Okay, so if you substitute that into the, this is the maximum possible of particle at the excited level, Ne by V. Okay, now we also say that if sometimes there will be the number density increases. Okay, so that means it is the particle Ne by V, that the number density is greater than this limiting value. So what happens? So if it is greater than the limiting value, the all the particles, the first, if there are 15 particles is coming, there are 20 particles, so all the 15 particles, so if the 15 particles comes, then NeV, the total number density, reaches to the limit, then the remaining 5 particles will be at the ground state level. Okay, so up to if there are 20 particles, uh, and by filling only 15 particles, filling by 15 particles, if it is reached the number density limit like this, okay, then the remaining 5 particles will be on the ground state level. Okay, so it is all depends upon the how much time it will take to reach this limit. Once the limit reaches, then the remaining particles will be at the ground state level, and ground level means the energy will be zero at the ground state at that situation. Okay, so that was a representation of this one. So for an actual particle, this is the limitation for the number density, and this is the limitation for the Bose-Einstein function, where z equal to 1, that is maximum occupancy that is possible. So at this limiting value, what is the scenario? All the particles will be distributed at the excited level. Okay, for this limiting value, all the particles will be at the exciting level. So that was a scenario you have to explain. And now the Ne by V, so which I can take it as 2 pi m k T raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so divided by h cube, so which is into 2.612 is there. Okay, so we know that total number of particles, that is equal to what? N0 plus Ne, that is the total number of particles at the ground state plus total number of the particles at the excited state. Okay, now from this representation, one can say that that number of particles at the excited state, that is equal to Ne equal to V into 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 divided by h cube into 2.612. Okay, so we know that n0, the total number of particles, so particle at the ground state, which is equal to what? N minus Ne. Okay, so that means n minus V into 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 minus h cube, sorry, 3 by 2 by h cube into 2.612. Okay, so what we will be getting is that at this state, if epsilon equal to 0, okay, so epsilon is equal to 0, where we know that if n0 is the total number of particles at the ground state level, so this is the representation for what? Bose-Einstein condensation in that case. So here you can see that the ground state, at the total number of particles at the ground state, is the total number of particles minus the particle at the excited level. So which is actually the most of the particle at this state will be at the what is N0? N0 means what? It is at the number of particles at the energy, that is epsilon equal to 0. Okay, so this is the representation, we call it as the Bose-Einstein condensation. That is the most of the particle will be at the ground state when you distribute the particle over the entire volume, because we know that for a larger volume, so there will be n number of particles. So the phenomena of a macroscopically large number of particles, okay, large number of particles are accumulating in a single quantum state, that is equal to epsilon equal to 0, are reflected to as a Bose-Einstein conduction. Okay, so it is a phenomena we observe as that, is that the macros, when you consider the macroscopically, because for a larger extent, okay, macroscopically large number of particles are accumulating or accumulating in a single quantum state, single energy state or quantum state. Okay, that is epsilon equal to 0, which we call it as what? Which we referred as or call it as, which we called as Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay, Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay, so Bose-Einstein condensation is equal to the vapor containing the liquid state. It is equivalent to the state in that case. Okay, how this is large number of particles are accumulating on a single quantum state. Here you can see that this factor V Ne, if you consider Ne by V or Ne, if you take the value that is Ne by V, it will be comparably very small value. So the limiting value will be very small. Then Ne also in that scenario we can say that it will be comparably very small. So that means most of the particles will be occupying at the ground state, which is having the energy epsilon equal to 0. So that's why the Bose-Einstein condensation is more important, because a large number of particles is accumulating in a single quantum state, which is called epsilon equal to 0, which is, that's why we call it a Bose-Einstein condensation. The most of the particle in a system which will be condensing at a state which is at the ground state level, which is having the energy epsilon equal to 0. So this phenomena and this scenario we call it as Bose-Einstein condensation phenomena, that the most of the particle is occupying at the single quantum state at the, which is the energy level epsilon equal to 0. Okay. So now we also have a similar analogy that you can also find it out for the Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay, condensation, Bose-Einstein condensation, and you can also find a similar analogy in the case of vapor condensation in liquids. Okay, so you will be familiar with the phenomena. Okay, so you can find that it's a same kind of condensation of compared to the Bose-Einstein condensation. So you can actually correlate the both one, but there are few differences as well compared to the Bose-Einstein condensation. Here also it is happening in same fashion of condensation as well, where all the particles will be condensing at the ground state level. So it's here is bit different. What was the difference? We'll be looking to that. So we know that Bose-Einstein condensation, which is a quantum origin. Okay, so this is a quantum origin basically. What is a quantum origin means? So you are not dealing with even, so the absence of intermolecular. So this phenomena can occur, this condensation even occur at the absence of intermolecular relation. Okay, so this can occur even in the absence of intermolecular differences. Okay, and we say that Bose-Einstein case is purely quantum origin. Okay, so this phenomena can occur even in the absence of intermolecular force. Okay, quantum origin, and can occur even in the absence of intermolecular force. But for a vapor condensation of the liquid, it should have what? It should have intermolecular force. Okay, so in order to occur for that, so that intermolecular force should be present to occur vapor condensation. And now the second difference is that, so this Bose-Einstein condensation, it take place in, this is take place in momentum space. Okay, whereas this vapor condensation, which will be occurring momentum and coordinate space. Okay, so this is not occurring, not in coordinate space. Okay, so that is a prime important difference between this Bose-Einstein condensation and vapor condensation. But even then you can have you can consider as a analogy. Vapor condensation can be considered as a analogy for the Bose-Einstein condensation. Okay, so Bose-Einstein condensation is more important in that aspect. Most of the particles are occupying at the ground state level where epsilon equal to 0. That we also seen that this phenomena is possible at the quantum origin. So where the quantum origin means is mostly the temperature will be, should be what? The temperature should be comparably low. So we also said that this Bose-Einstein condensation is mostly happen at what temperature? At absolute temperature, because all the particles will be occupying at the ground state level, which are not having the proper energy corresponding to that. Okay, So most of the case also you can see that whenever if you have the mostly the very good magnetic particles, ferromagnetism and all, which will be showing high ferromagnetism at the lower temperature, because there will be no influence of any other force or temperature, so that it will be distracting that. So you can also find the inherent property of a material by using that technique. That means you will be understand at low temperature it will show its inherent property. So what is the actual property of that material, like magnetic or electrical property, so which can easily you can identify at the lower temperature without any fluctuations. So that is more important. So all the spins will be aligned in the proper condition for a case of ferromagnetism and all. So similarly you can also bring the system into the ground state level where all the particles occupy. So at the lower temperature you can actually study the particle. So it is a form of a condensation of a molecule or something at the ground level. So that's why Bose-Einstein condensation is more important, and by comparing to the vapor condensation it is more important because it is quantum origin. It is happening in the absence of, it can happen in the absence of intermolecular force as well, but vapor condensation cannot be occurred in the absence of intermolecular force. For it should have an intermolecular force should be present for vapor condensation. Okay, and this is occur in a momentum space, Bose-Einstein condensation, and not in a coordinate space. But vapor condensation will be in momentum and coordinate space. This can occur in the case of an explanation of physical explanation corresponding to that. Okay, so that's a part of discussion of Bose-Einstein condensation and different thermodynamic relations also we have come across in these last two lectures. And the next part will be detailing about the ideal Bose system and different other properties of the system will be discussing on the next part of the session. Okay, so thank you for listening the session.